Good morning. Today I'll be presenting a short analysis on leadership from the movie The Devil Wears Prada. Now, the movie follows Andy, who learns a job as an assistant to Miranda Priestley, who is the editor of Runway. It illustrates how Andy struggles with Miranda's impossible standards and how she adapts over time and prove her competence to Miranda. Now, other key roles also include Emily, who is the first assistant of Miranda, and Nigel, who's the fashion director, which is Andy's work bestie and also a close aide of Miranda. Now, Miranda Priestley is the editor-in-chief of Runway, a high-end fashion magazine, and is a powerful example of female leadership in a competitive industry. So she's known for her authority, high standards, and ability to command respect. And more than a boss, Miranda symbolized the culture of fashion itself. So she shows us both the struggles and challenges of leading through power, influence, and symbolism. Now, when we take a look at Miranda Priestley through the Bowman and Dale's 4 framework, we can see how her leadership operates on multiple levels. So in the structural frame, she builds a clear hierarchy and expects flawless performance from her workers. And this creates order, but also a culture of fear. In the human resource frame, she shows little warmth, but by demanding so much, she actually forces her employees to grow professionally, even if it's unintentional. In the political frame, Miranda is a master of survival. She maneuvers power struggles, for example, securing her Paris role by sacrificing Nigel. And finally, her strongest is the symbolic frame. Miranda doesn't just run the magazine, she represents fashion itself. So every ritual from her book to the runway stage is all a form of her symbolizing authority and excellence. So overall, her leadership is most powerful in the symbolic and structural frames, which defines both the culture and control of runway. So now I'll pass the time on to
Okay, this one is a leadership approach. This is a main about absolute power and a Socratic control. When Andy laughs at the glorious debate over two near identical plates, Miranda shuts her down with a cutting monologue on how those choices track down to influence Andy's own sweater. This reinforces her total authority, and this video can show Miranda how to use absolute power.
And I've seen all this before.
Deskins is trying to reinvent the dropway, so
Where
actually
are all the other dresses?
we have some right here, and then
And
Armani.
watch and listen.
And I think it can be very interesting
No.
with...
No, it's just baffling to me. Why is it so impossible to put together a decent run-through? You people have had hours and hours to prepare. It's just so confusing to me. Where are the advertisers?
we have some pieces from Banana Republic.
Well, we need more, don't we? Oh, this might be. What do you think?
Yeah. Well, you know me. Give me a full ballerina skirt and a hint of saloon, and I'm on board.
But do you think it's too much like...
Like a La Croix from July? I thought that, but no, not with the right accessories. It should work.
Where are the belts for this dress? Why is no one ready?
Here. It's a tough call. They're so different.
Something funny?
No, nothing's, it's just that both those belts look exactly the same to me, I'm still learning about this stuff and,
This stuff? Oh, okay. I see. You think this has nothing to do with you. You go to your closet and you select, I don't know, that lumpy blue sweater, for instance, because you're trying to tell the world that you take yourself too seriously to care about what you put on your back. But what you don't know is that that sweater is not just blue. It's not turquoise. It's not lapis. It's actually cerulean. And you're also blithely unaware of the fact that in 2002, Oscar de la Renta did a collection of cerulean gowns. And then I think it was Yves Saint Laurent, wasn't it, who showed cerulean military jackets? I think we need a jacket here. And then cerulean quickly showed up in the collections of 8 different designers. And then it filtered down through the department stores and then trickled on down into some tragic casual corner where you no doubt fished it out of some clearance bin. However, that blue represents millions of dollars and countless jobs. And it's sort of comical how you think that you've made a choice that exempts you from the fashion industry when, in fact, you're wearing a sweater that was selected for you by the people in this room from a pile of stuff.
Okay, the next one is is about approach theory, and the first one is tree theory. Miranda is highly conscientious, confident, and dominant, but scores low in agreeableness, which can make her intimidating. And the second one is behavioral theory. She is far more task-oriented than relationship-oriented, focusing on output over emotional connection. And the next is contingency theory. Her style works best in the fast-paced, high-stakes situation industry where decisiveness is vital. And Pascal theory is she operates as a directive leader, setting exact expectations and sometimes achievement-oriented when pushing her team to exceed creative limits. And promotes employees to better complete their tasks through fair and rewards. Her later member exchange partner is clear. She has a trusted inner cycle like Nico, who get more access and trust, and an out group of assistants who are kept at arm's length.
Sorry, Miranda.
Gender and leadership in Miranda's character. Gender plays a vital role in interpreting Miranda's leadership style. Navigating a male-dominated corporate environment, she employs precision, control, and an ice queen persona, a common defense mechanism for women leaders facing gender bias. In contrast to many films, where women leaders are often softened, overly nurturing, or portrayed as emotional decision makers, Miranda is depicted as assertive, strategic, and often ruthless, traits usually reserved for male leaders on screen. She demands excellence without apology, challenging the stereotype that women in leadership should always be nice or accommodating. Next. The concept of the leadership labyrinth applies here. Miranda has overcome multiple hidden barriers, yet her leadership style may also reinforce the perception that female leaders must be tough to succeed. The film subtly illustrates how her behavior, which would be deemed acceptable or even admirable in a male executive, is judged more harshly because she is a woman. Additionally, Miranda must balance perfection at work with societal expectation in her personal life. This is exemplified in a clip showing her facing marriage issues because of her career dedication. For Miranda, work always comes first. Miranda's husband often feels sidelined as she prioritizes runway over family time, leading to frustration with the recurring sentiment of waiting for her again. She also has an emotional distance with her husband. Her cold, controlled demeanor at work extends into her personal life, making it difficult for her to express vulnerability or warmth, which hinders emotional connections at home. Aside from that, she is also frequently absent. With constant events, travel, and late nights, Miranda is rarely present for her family moments, fostering resentment and loneliness in her marriage. This also has an impact on her children. Miranda acknowledges that her demanding lifestyle is unfair to the girls, indicating her awareness that her career choices negatively affect not only her marriage but also her children's well-being.
And next, for authentic leadership, Miranda's outfits in the movie presents her as commanding and gives off mystique. So, Miranda's authenticity lies with the company's brand. She carries herself with grace, elegance, and discipline, even when there's no eyes on her. For example, when she's at home. This shows that she presents herself with authenticity, her personal brand truly aligning with the runway's vision. However, Miranda falls short in openness and fairness. Her transparency is selective, and her decisions often prioritize personal and organizational survival over shared ethical principles. This means that while she is authentic to her brand, she's not fully authentic to her people, her employees. This creates a paradox. The Miranda that we see is real, but not necessarily relationally authentic. Moving on.
The leadership of Miranda from leadership change and development. The leadership change. Miranda is a classical leader with high requirements and control. Miranda's first appearance shows her employees under high pressure. Fast actions show her absolute influence. She creates a high-pressure environment in the team. When the Fashion Week comes, Miranda faced a management decision to replace her. She promoted a competitor as the new head and through their action successfully missed the crisis. This is example of second-order change. Leadership development. The terms of decretion, Miranda always keeps a clear objective to ensure Review has a strong influence in the fashion industry. However, this objective is almost set by herself. The terms of elections, her command and control will ensure efficiency, but the work is based more on pressure than trust. The terms of commitment, co-members like Nigel are highly loyal to her, while most employees passively fulfill their duties. In the end, when Miranda met Andy on street, she smiled in the car. This shows that Miranda does not disagree with Andy's choice and even supports Andy's pursuit. This shows the complexity of Miranda and that she was changed while changing Andy's life. This inspires us to improve leadership through increasing empathy for employees can not only help us find conflicts, but also improve the efficiency and the well-being of employees. Miranda's leadership style is effective in the short term, producing top-notch research in high-pressure environments. However, it relies too heavily on personal authority and strong control, neglecting employee emotion, commitment, and long-term development. For modern organization, this reminds us that high percentage of execution must be combined with development, technology, safety to remain competitive in an ever-changing environment. My presentation is over. Thank you very much.